with the More Self Discovery podcast, the podcast where we discover ourselves through our self journey. I want to welcome you. I had a good conversation and a good guest that was here, but somehow, of course, technology um kind of made a glitch. So hopefully she'll be able to call back in. For some reason, the streaming became frozen. But I kind of wanted to come on and hopefully when she's coming in, I can get her in. I want to touch bases with everybody. I hope everybody is doing well and taking care of themselves. Of us who are on the East Coast or Midwest, we are trying to gear up for this winter storm that is supposedly supposed to be starting this evening on up until Friday. Especially, we always talk about it, we always gear up, but this is something that we're used to here in the Midwest and on the East Coast. So, it's something that we deal with every winter. What would be different if we didn't have any snow? That would be different. But anywho, I want everybody to stay safe and stay warm and stay healthy. Um, while I'm trying to wait until she comes back on, if she can come back on, I'm going to talk about um, the sadness of two young people who took their lives, with unexpected passing. First one was actress Regina King's son, who inevitably, he took his life, and talk in our Miss Black America young lady. Let's see, what was her name? If anybody can tell me in the chat, trying to look it up now. Her name was in the chat. I thought I had it in here. Oops. Well, anyway, I mean, it's just a sad situation. We just never know. Chelsea Christ, Chelsea Chris. Both two rising, talented young people um, that just was in so much pain to where they thought that there was no other way out but to unfortunately uh, take their lives. And I just kind of wanted to briefly talk about that and mental health. And a lot of it, people are going through a lot and a lot of people don't understand, especially when you're in a public eye like they were, um, and very heavy into social media. And this is where I want to kind of focus on social media. Social media is a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword because while it's great to connect and meet people and network and everything and share your daily lives with other people, it's also a place where people can be really cruel and really, negative. And to me, it's those trolls or people who bully others, because rather do that behind a computer, and because they wouldn't have the guts to do it in person. And those type of people are what I want to focus on. You know, everybody has issues, everybody has problems. And it's very important to surround yourself, no matter what goes on social media. Because again, social media is nothing but um, it's a way to connect with other people, but do it in a healthy, in a positive way. If you're not adult enough to voice your feelings or whatever to that person in person, then don't do it online. Because to me, that's being a coward. That's being a coward. And and for those who are, being bullied or being pressured by someone who has nothing else better to do than to talk negatively about someone else. They're too irrelevant in your life. Do not make what their words, affect what you're doing. Obviously, if they were about anything, they wouldn't be, sitting behind a computer type spewing out evil and hatred towards someone else. So it is happening more and more that people are bullying other people or just downing um, other people to where you're losing your self-esteem and your self-confidence and self-worth over some idiot that doesn't have anything to do but to just, spew hate. If you don't like the person, if you have something negative to say about that person or whoever's on, on the social media, then don't follow them. That quick quick cure. Don't follow them. There's no reason to, say all this hateful stuff to somebody. If you don't like them, okay, you don't like them. Move on to something else. But to sit there and bully and just call them out their name and be pressured and especially with this young lady, you know people saying hateful things to her, to where she's, among, I'm sure there was other things, other factors going on, but for people to say, just pressuring her and saying all kinds of negative things because she was chosen as Miss Black America or Miss America. um it's just to the point she couldn't take it. And I think it's really sad and sick that some non-intellect um have that power to, affect somebody else. So, I'm saying this to be, um for those of us who are maybe going through some stuff, because everybody has a mask. You don't know what is going on. You think everybody is very well put together, and you think that people, money, you should be, if you have a bunch of money, you should be, everything should be all cool and life should be good. But not always so. Not always so. Um and everybody has their right to like or dislike who they want. Everybody will have a right to say what they want. But if you can't be respectful about it, if you can't, um, just say things in a intellectual, you can agree to disagree, but for you to just spew hatred, then you know you're not even human. Okay, you don't have any emotions. How about that? You're not even human. So, and there's a lot of inhuman people out here, and with the pandemic, we can blame everything about the plant, say it's the pandemic, but let's just be clear. People were like that even before that. It's just make it now with the last few years, it was making acceptable to be as open of your actual uh of how you feel. So my suggestion to everybody is this: surround yourself to um, positive people, or even if you don't have that support system, support your own self. Be a positive influence for your own self. Sometimes it is hard to find that one person or family members or whoever, to give you that support and love that you are seeking. But love yourself first. And whatever else that people, whoever else has something negative to say, it doesn't even matter to them. It doesn't matter to you. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter to you because at the end of the day, uh, they're probably just as much, as miserable, if not more, than you are. So do not let the negative hate affect who you are and what you're trying to accomplish or what you have accomplished in your life. I'm hoping that my guest just received a message that she's trying to reboot and trying to come in. So I want to hear you from the chat. If anyone who's watching and has something to say in the chat, uh, please feel free. And those who are on YouTube, I want you to hit that like and subscribe to my channel. I think this is a type of conversation that we all need to have. This is a non-judge judgment free zone. Everybody has a right to, comments, but let's make it respectfully. Let's make it respectful. And you don't have to be hateful to, express yourself. So, anyone has any comments? Has anybody experienced any negative feedback or negative hatred or just feeling the negativity from other people? Has anybody have experienced that, especially through social media? So far I haven't, and if but then again, I don't have any, I don't have any followers. So I mean, I'm still building my channel, but I'm sure there's going to be someone who, may say something that's just um unnecessary or just, say something that just tried to get a rise out of me. And um it's hard to say to ignore them because sometimes you can't because it gets to the point, especially when they start talking really hateful, that you want to uh, say something back. But again, um, you're worth more than what they are. You're worth more than that. And I want you to, I just want, for me to you, I want you to realize that you are worth something, and you take care of yourself instead of what, and stop relying on social media to validate who you are. My guest is here, so I'm going to bring her in. And Dr. Burroughs, I'm sorry, we must have lost connection here.
Oh, everything went down for a moment here.
I hope it's not the storm.
What the heck is happening?
Okay, well, I'm gonna
So,
go ahead and introduce you, and we're gonna talk for the next few minutes. We're way over time, but I just wanted to I definitely want people to hear what you are about and how you can be of help to others. Um, Listeners, this is Dr. Stephanie Burroughs. She is the CEO of Stephanie Speaking, LLC, and is a dynamic and prolific keynote speaker and clarity coach for business owners and professional women. Living a mindfulness centered life is critically important to Dr. Burroughs, and it has led her to pivot her business. Today, she is helping business owners and professional women transform their mental clutter and confusion into clarity and confidence through her services as a speaker and a clarity coach, so that you can increase, your revenue. If you were in the business and you want a business coach, you need clarity to try to increase your business, and with business, increasing business will be increasing your revenue. Dr. Burroughs can definitely help you. She has over 30 years experience in business. She's worked for the federal government through, she's from New Jersey and has worked for the state of New Jersey. She's worked on federal contracts. She has done a lot, and she would be a definitely huge resource for those who want to get that clarity of what their purpose are in their life. So, Dr. Burroughs, I really appreciate you coming on, and thank you so much.
Well, thank you so for having me in the
So,
midst of
tell
these things going on with the computer. It's still going
I
on. I'm
know
like, no, no, you're
it's
not.
always a glitch. It's always the
I'm just going
computer
to be
has a
like,
glitch.
Father God, in the name of Jesus, right now, put your hand on this because my sister
The-
has something big that she's doing, and we want to make sure it goes well and smoothly. Thank you, Jesus.
Well, thank you.
Amen.
I receive it. I receive it. So, Dr. Burroughs, tell us a little bit about your background. How did you get started to, and how did you get from then to where you are today, and what made you
Ooh. Well, I'll
transition?
start off by letting you know that I'm the daughter of a Marine, and he and my mom raised me like I was one of the troops.
Woo,
And
okay.
I realized over the years of just a lot of deep inner work, working on myself, I knew early on in life that I had to do that. I knew this in elementary school. So, what
Mhm.
everyone's talking about today is not new for me. And in fact, I'll tell you, I was coaching in elementary school and I didn't even know it because we
Didn't
didn't
even
even
know
know
it.
the word coach outside of sports. Okay.
Right.
I had a student come to me, and it was a young guy, and he came to me with some life questions. And I thought, this is very strange. Why is he coming to me with these questions? But then I had the audacity to respond, and he was satisfied and told
Okay.
others.
Wow. Well,
So
so
who
even
knew?
then in elementary school, you never knew what
Sixth
God
grade.
knew what your purpose was even then.
Yes. Yes. And as far as being a speaker, I've been on stages since, I was in elementary school. I was actually the keynote speaker for my graduation ceremony
Wow.
with several hundred people in the audience.
Mhm.
Um, and I didn't think anything of it other than the fact that we had to write a paper, and I'd written this paper. And it was 13 pages long, and I did not know they were judging, and I'd
Mm.
won. And this is
Okay.
what I had to do. 13
Wow.
pages, y'all, had I memorized. But I can tell you that when I got on that stage and I started speaking, the first two sentences were from memory, and everything after that, I don't know, because all I felt like was a orb of yellow sunlight with spokes going out into the audience. And I don't know what happened, but I know when I finished, there was just a huge round of applause.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I knew in that moment, because I've been performing on stage and dance and
Mhm.
choruses and orchestra and band and all that stuff. But I
Mhm.
knew in that moment, eighth grade, I was meant to be on stage. I was meant to speak. I
Wow.
said, this is what I'm supposed to
Wow.
do.
So take us to from elementary to um
On in
uh
to where we are
during your
today.
yeah, as a well, first let's talk about your position working with contracts and as in the businesses.
Oh, okay. So let me just say this, with all the talk about DEI, there was supplier diversity.
Okay.
Supplier diversity was all about ensuring that minority contractors or minority business owners, put it that way,
Mhm.
had opportunity to bid on contracts with both the corporate sector, government was first, and then the
Mhm.
corporate sector. And there were a lot of laws and a lot of things that were in play
Mhm.
going back quite a long time ago. I spent a lot of time on construction sites, going out there to monitor for contract compliance. I had helped a lot of contractors out there that were minorities that didn't understand how to work in that environment and deal with the
Mhm.
engineers and the resident engineers and all of the things that were required from them when bidding a contract.
Mhm.
Um, and so I learned just being in the field and being out there and going to the meetings with, say, the aviation department or the engineering department. And I just listened to those folks and learned transportation related contracts I worked on early back in 1980. I mean, I was the first, the one and the only black and female, okay,
Wow.
in those circles that I was in. And so, yes, I had to deal with a lot of stuff that everybody's
Mhm.
crying and whining about today.
Mhm.
But the daughter
Wow.
of a Marine toughed it out. I'm just saying.
Simplify, simplify.
Yes.
Yes.
There's no crying, no whining, just
Right.
figure it out,
You
tough it
figure it
out.
out.
But for me, I didn't even have to figure it out. I just went straight to God and prayed. And he gave me my response. And I followed suit. And so I learned so much on on the, in the field and being in the meetings and listening to them.
Mhm.
and being able to bring that knowledge and information back to work with the people in the industry, and then do all kinds of programs and bringing them all together. But in the last, I'm going to fast track all the way
Mhm.
to the last job that I had, that I left back in the end of 2013, and that was as director of procurement for the New Jersey Small Business Development Centers. And so that's a federal, partially, well, the majority federally funded, and the rest came through grants and other opportunities. And you just had to go out there and bring in
Mhm.
revenue. Okay. So I
Mhm.
created programs and created expos and a number of different things to um, be able to bring the corporate sector, the government, the public agencies, all of the folks with the big contracts to the
Mhm.
table, so that they could train our business owners who were doing business with those sectors, and learn what the expectations, and more importantly, so they can meet the people that
Yes.
were behind these contracts that were going out.
Mhm.
I also coached, God, about, at that time, just there, not including all the other things I'd done, a couple of thousand folks through
Mhm.
that process, as best that I knew it. And if I had to, I could refer them to other folks, not necessarily in the SBDC, because I ran the program for the entire state. So that
Okay.
meant that while others were running it for a region, say a county or a couple of counties, I had the entire state coming to me
Mhm.
for assistance. And in the past, I had done the DBE and the MBE and the WBE and the SBE certification audits.
Mhm.
So I knew it
Wow.
from the other side of the table, where we're looking at it and saying, yes, you pass the mustard, or no, you don't pass the mustard.
Wow. So you've been on
Uh,
it both sides of the
both
fence.
sides,
Okay.
yes. Um, and so I've just involved with a lot, and took advantage of everything that I could,
Mhm.
and took advantage of training programs, which I didn't realize when I was signing up until I got there. They were government run, federal government run. I was like, I'm the only non-federal government person in the room. What? And that was
Wow.
really interesting. So, but I got a chance to, I learned as much as I could all along the way. When I was first stepped out on a construction site and was met with all, and went to a meeting with all of the owners, and was met with a lot of, y'all
Mhm.
don't even want to know, y'all would pass out. But stayed my ground,
Mhm.
and said a prayer real quick and got my
Mhm.
answer, and I followed suit.
Mhm.
And it takes time, but people finally come around. You don't change who you are unless you need to make some changes within you. uh
That's a good
okay,
that I like that.
yeah,
I
and
like
when you
that.
need to make some changes within you,
Mhm.
and that can be tough when
Mhm.
what you're facing is, mm, what the whole DEI and supplier
Mhm.
diversity stuff was all about. Okay,
Mhm.
and you're the only black and the only female in the room.
Yeah. So how
So
do you tell us so tell us how do you with all of that you've went through and and let's face it, a lot of uh times we as black women or black people of color, we're the only ones. So how do we gain clarity? How did you get to the point that you help people to gain
getting
clarity about
clarity.
our
So
focus and how to become,
mhm.
successful business people?
So I was told by someone not long ago, and I didn't realize it, but I've been doing this all my life. She said, "You are so process oriented."
Mhm. Mhm.
I was like, "Really? You think so?" She's like, "Yes, you are." And then it made me conscious of how I did things. Look,
Mhm.
my father and my mother raised me like I was one of the Marines. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So a lot of what I've done has come through them, what they put in me, even though I was fighting it, they put it in me.
Mhm.
And first of all, having that grit, being grounded, resilient, intentional, and tenacious. That's one of my programs, my coaching programs.
And that's what
It's
the
so
grit stands
powerful.
for?
Yes, being grounded, resilient, intentional, and tenacious.
Wow.
Um, I also came up with my 6 P's
Yes, we
for
had
every,
talked
because
about
I
that.
Realized that, how did I do all these different projects, and how did I work with all these different people, all levels, government, all levels in organizations,
Mhm.
corporations, whatever. Purpose, planning, preparation, process, paperwork, and promotion. I put that
Wow.
in the business too, what I do in this business. So the how to is internal because I worked on me.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's talking about the whole mental illness.
Yeah.
I don't take that lightly,
Mm-hmm.
but I will say this. I don't think everyone has that as an issue. I think we've been shaken
Mm-hmm.
and now you're aware of things you've never thought about before.
That's good.
And maybe you're not sure how to process it.
Wow. That's
Process
good. That's a good
oriented person.
analogy.
Yeah. And so that's what I've been doing for decades.
Mm-hmm.
Many. Over six. I'm just saying. Like 3 more years and I'm going into seventh decade. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Wow.
Um, and so for me, it comes, well, I've been blessed with some gifts. I use my gifts. I learned that and I'm a believer. So if
Mm-hmm.
you surrender, which
Mm-hmm.
is we've been being beaten over the head with, just surrender. If you understand what I'm talking about.
Right. Right.
If you surrender, so much will come not only to you, but through you.
Wow.
I have been blessed with people willing to pour into me and willing to champion me.
Mm-hmm.
So all my jobs came through referral. My business opportunities came through referral, people finding me on social media and just writing to me like, can you do this during these dates? What's your fee? Really?
Wow.
People saying, sending folks to me and my clients, many of them since I left SBDC in 2013 at the end of 2013 have come. Some are coming to me now from then. Some have come to me through just seeing me online. Some have come
Mm-hmm.
to me seeing me speak at a number of different places. Um, some look me up. Someone else told them, and they go look you up, and they come to you. Now I know I can, I know we got all these different methodologies. Believe me, I spent all kinds of money
Mm-hmm.
unnecessarily,
Mm-hmm.
because I know how to pick up a phone and call somebody and just talk to them where they are.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're ready for me, because not everyone is, and that's okay. But at some point in time, yes, I am not that Molly Coddling person.
Yeah.
The Marine, I had a gentleman who worked for the states, who for state of New Jersey in a capacity. I don't remember exact capacity, but he ran a big project looking overseeing housing and so forth for
Mm-hmm.
veterans.
Mm-hmm.
We were in a meeting, and I was so shocked when he came to me and he said, "You know what? You little Miss Drill Sergeant." Like he was like this, and I'm down. And I cracked up laughing. I was like, my husband used to say that to me. He was like, I wouldn't want to work for you because you're a little drill sergeant. I was like, no, I'm not. But my thing, that was my dad in me. As much as I didn't want him in me, he was there. Then the gentleman said to me, but I'm going to correct myself. He said, you the drill sergeant over the drill sergeant. I was like, why are you saying that? But it's like, no excuses.
Yeah.
I will not fall for the excuses. If you come and you work with me, you have to really want to change. You have to really want to dig deep and go in
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and root out the nonsense.
Right.
Because I will tell you, I've been rooting out a whole bunch of nonsense for a long time, little at a time,
Mm-hmm.
little at a time. And then continually practicing what I'm learning myself, what's being revealed to me. And to be able to be in total surrender, and I'm going to say total surrender in certain things. Not everything you're going to surrender in at one time. I
Yeah.
had to, a little bit at a time. I'm still hard headed. Come on now. I say a little bit at a time. But when I do, whatever that thing is I'm surrendering, it's full out.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want me to do? I'll do it. It took me several years from 2017 until 2019 or 2020 for me to say, okay, I was doing it through speaking. I was speaking to the whole grit things. I was speaking on mindfulness, even in from the business perspective, still being able to insert all of that in there. I was
Mhm.
coaching clients that I had at the SBDC because they would get stuck and they
Wow.
couldn't move forward. And they were, I'm like, why haven't you done this, this, and this? And we discussed all this. They were
Mhm.
stuck. So what did that say? It said you need to go deeper with them.
Yeah, you got to go deep into.
So we went
And
out and you go in, you know?
right. And to have somebody like you who, is like you said, is not going to hold hand and coddle. In order
Mm-mm.
for you to be successful, you got to go within yourself. You got to, do the work. Do the work,
Yes.
and you being the inner, the coach, and your support, but you also know that in order for us to be successful as business, you know, women or whoever, you have to do the work. And that means to gain your mental clarity. You got to be focused. You've got to, know exactly what to do and
What you
how
where
to
you're
do it.
going. Just we need to release, and that's my second program. And God
Yes.
wakes me up with these programs. Okay.
And how do you release? What ways show us what
So
ways you can release?
so first of all, you have to identify what's in the way. I'll give you a
Mhm.
simple thing, a real simple one. People think it's all really, really deep. Yeah, it does get there, but sometimes you start with simplicity.
Mhm.
So the thing I think of first, and this is something that happened. I even have a client who did a video testimonial on this, and it was, what did she need to release in order to clean some closets? Now,
Mhm.
you might think that's a simple thing, cleaning out your closets. Got all this stuff, clutter, and you don't need it. Somebody
Right.
else needs it. But as we were going through the process, I realized there were more meanings behind cleaning out this closet because there were memories attached to
Yes.
garments
Yes.
and shoes and boots and pocketbooks and scarves and hats or whatever.
Mhm.
Memories that were deep and that had held a special significance for them. And some, because those people are no longer here,
Yeah. Yeah.
are you really ready to release and let go?
Right.
We're not meant to carry and hold hurt.
Yeah.
We're not meant to hold sorrow.
Mhm. Wow.
It's not, I'm not saying you won't have it, but you're not supposed to. You're stopping yourself by holding on to this stuff.
That's
So
true.
we talked about, so then we went into a process.
Mhm.
Let's identify first. What do I do with this stuff? So let's identify where it can go. Who can
Mhm.
use it? Who can benefit? Won't it feel great when someone else is benefiting from something that you released and let go? This is
Yes.
a simple thing that I'm talking about. But it wasn't
Wow.
really simple as we started going in. A
Yeah.
whole lot of other stuff started coming up.
Yeah. And it's
And it
usually
was
like
just
that. Once you start, then other stuff that, you have regressed in your mind maybe for years, now it's starting to come up and, deal with it, release it, and move on to the next.
exactly. And this pe- people have more than one closet, so you got a lot of different things going on there.
Right. Right.
Uh, but think about this as you're going through the process for whatever it is. And people who are stuck, afraid to network with people. Why?
Mhm.
What's going on here? Let's find out why. If you're a professional, you know you have to network. You know
Yeah.
you have to attend dinners and breakfasts and
Right.
meetings and wherever and organizations and all of this stuff. If you're a business owner, you're doing the same thing. You're promoting your business and you're promoting what you do and your capacity, your capabilities. I mean, you're always in promotion mode. You're promoting
Mhm.
you because you're the owner. You're the face
Mhm.
until you get to be a Pepsi Cola and you're no longer. No one knows who the president is anymore. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Do
Right.
they still
Right.
have Pepsi Cola? I don't even know. I don't drink soda. Uh, but
Wow.
But we can't get away from that. And so oftentimes, even we can do role play, you know, people who want to go after these myriad of well, first of all, let me just say this. I was stepping away from the whole certification stuff and the business development stuff because that's not what God was saying to me. But then
Yeah.
all of a sudden there seemed to be an influx. And I
Uh-huh.
said, okay, all right, I'll do what I used to do. I'm not consulting with you. I will coach you. I will
Mm-hmm.
coach whoever you bring to the table to do it for you. I will
Mm-hmm.
be online with them and go through the process while they're uploading and entering and whatever on in the moment.
Yes. Yeah. Wow.
Okay. But they're going to be
Okay.
doing it. But we'll be sharing desktop and I'm going to take them step by step through that. So I just said I'll concede to doing that because this is a time when everybody is, looking for you to have some kind of certification, one
Yeah.
or another.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you don't need all of it. I even have an online digital program at um, it's workthecert.com, but it's like HTTPS when I speak you grow uh, forward slash when I speak you grow.com forward slash work the cert, something like that. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
best thing to do is just get in touch with me and meet with me one on one. We could do a Zoom meeting. I have a Calendly, and that's HTTPS colon forward slash
And that's
calendly.com.
where, okay, and that I'm putting it in the chat, so in
Yeah,
the so that people, and that was my last question before we wrap up, is how can people connect with you?
yeah.
So it's HTTPS.
Forward slash
Mm-hmm.
calendly calendly.com forward slash Stephanie Speaking LLC. STEPHANIE, the word speaking, no spaces, LLC, no spaces. That's
Okay.
the best way. Just get in touch with me. Let's talk. Let's see where your needs are, what your real needs are. Because, folks think they need something.
Right.
But when we start to discuss and I start asking you questions, when we get to the real, what you really need.
So everybody, I want you to reach out to Dr. Burroughs. I mean, she has so much wisdom, and you can tell that she will get down there and get dirty with you, and get all that muck and guck that you've been suppressing for years in order. And that's the only way we can do it to move forward.
Yes.
God has a purpose for us, and in order for you to, in order for you to go to your future, you gotta take care of your past and your
Amen. That's so
so
good. And if
so
they're looking for a speaker, because what I do is help you erase that mental clutter and confusion and transform it into confidence and clarity.
yes. Do you
And
also do group coaching?
so, let me tell you what I've been doing, and we're doing another one this Sunday night, so they need to get to me so they can get the link. Um, I'm starting group coaching, yes,
Okay.
but on Sunday nights from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., I do a group meditation.
Oh.
Yes, so the
Oh.
very first one was all about release, but it was a mild release.
Mm-hmm.
But this Sunday night, we're going into a little bit deeper release.
Wow.
And I share some information, helpful information. We do some mind body connection exercise techniques. Then we go into the meditation, and
Mm-hmm.
then while we're in the quiet period, I share some information with them, and then we come out of that. People in the beginning write what they're feeling when they first come on, and then at the
Mm-hmm.
end they write what they're feeling, so you can see what the difference is, and they leave testimonials
Oh.
in the chat. And it's just really so cool. We got in so deep afterwards. The last time I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect it to go this long. You know, everybody was like really sharing and stuff. It was,
Yeah.
oh, felt
And
so
just
good.
being in a positive, supportive environment. Yeah. So you guys, if anybody, please reach out to Dr. Burroughs. I mean, you also have a Facebook page, right?
Oh
Or
yeah.
no?
I have yeah. Well, the profile is, oh, God, what is it?
Well,
I
you can
think
give
it's,
it to me and I'll make sure it's in the show
yeah,
note.
Yeah, I
Just
think
send
it's
it to
either
me and I'll put
Stephanie
it in.
D. Burroughs or it's Stephanie speaking. I don't remember right now because I changed a lot of stuff. So
Okay.
I'd have to wait a minute. Oh no, that if I switch to it, it'll knock me out of you. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll send it to you.
Okay. So schedule appointment with her on the calendly.com / Stephanie Speaking
Free,
LLC.
no cost.
And you know, get yourself going and get this business. I mean, this is a year new season. I mean, we're living in a season to where, God is telling you, okay, you did it your way. Now listen to me,
Do it
surrender
my
to me.
way.
And it's your season. You have to do it. I mean,
Hmm.
there's no other way. For those of us who have been, feel like we're just down and down and just, God, please give us a purpose, give us clarity. There's no way but up. You're at that stage now. It's time to move forward. And we've got somebody here who understands, who's been there, who's will hold us accountable. Hold us
Oh
accountable.
yes.
The Marine way. Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna get homework,
You
okay?
go get
For real.
homework. There you go. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Burroughs. I really appreciate you. I'm part of her Facebook page, and it just her. Does daily inspirations. I mean, just something just as if you need something just to start your day off on a positive note. I really suggest you become part of her Facebook page because she puts out inspirational, motivational type sayings, and then that's something that gets me going in the morning. So
Well, that's good to
let's
hear.
support.
I
I
didn't
appreciate
know.
you.
I appreciate you having me on, and I appreciate your audience listening, watching, and taking action. So if you're an action taker, jump on. If you're not an action taker, become one. Jump on. Don't waste time. Hemming and hawing. Hit me
Right.
up, and we'll have a 30-minute session for
There
us
you
to just
go.
find out where you are, where you want to be, where
Mm-hmm.
you want to travel to in your journey, and what are the programs that are right for you, whether it be the release program or whether it be the grit growth program, mindful grit growth. Um, and join me Sunday night. So to get that link to register and for me to send you the link for the Zoom, you have
Absolutely.
to get in touch with me so that I have your email. Okay.
Absolutely.
God bless
All
each
right.
and every one of you. Thank you. God bless you,
Thank
my
you.
love.
Thank you. You take care, and I'll be talking to you soon.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right. Bye bye.
Bye. How do I get out of here?